Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to organize for school, as well as how I personally organize for school, and hopefully these tips will be helpful for you and will help you in becoming an more organized person in general for school. So first off, there's several different ways that you can organize your notes and your papers. So there's different ways. For instance, you could use a folder or a notebook or a binder. So for instance, you could use like a notebook like I do for Spanish. You could use a binder like this one, or you could use a folder like this like I used for physics. Or for instance, you could use something like this, an accordion binder, where you have your papers organized like this, and then you can have your things like that, and then you open it up from the inside and you can have whatever else you need in here. For physics, I'm not required to have a folder, but I personally use one just because it uses less space and we don't really take notes in class. So you can see I have physics written here, and then inside, like, I always take out my notes and put them back in my cubby later on, but I just have like some random stuff here. Since we don't honestly do really very much in class, and if we do, when it comes to writing, we don't do much, but if we do, then we usually turn it in at the end of the class, so we usually don't really have very much that we need in class. And like I have formulas in here too. And then on the right side, I just have paper so that I can do the work in class. So the main method I use is that I have binders. So I have binders for stats, calc, and world, and you can see that I have written out the names of the classes so it's easy to see which ones they are. So for instance, let's look in my calculus one. So this is some homework that I have due sometime soon. And then here I have different dividers. So you can see on the side, this is for homework, but right now my homework is in there, so there's nothing here. This is usually where I keep my class notes, but we haven't really had any yet because we just started a new chapter. Yeah, I don't really have any here yet, so it's not really that great. Then in here I have formulas to memorize, as you can see. And these are just all the different formulas you need to know for calculus. This is a course summary for calculus BC. So it's all the things you need to know. I have a lot just because they can be useful in class. And then at the end, I just have paper, notebook paper to use for class, for homework, and things like that. I basically have 3 pretty thin binders, and I always put my handouts in here usually if we have any. And then I just use a folder for physics and a notebook for Spanish, and overall it's pretty light. Overall, it's not too bad. So yeah, and you could use that too. I definitely recommend using 1-inch binders, not bigger binders, because there's not really usually a purpose. You can see it's pretty thin overall. And overall, when it comes to binders, I recommend not having all of your papers in the binder. Once I'm done with a chapter, I always put the papers back into my cubby so I don't have them staying around, and then at the end of the year I just go through them and just look through them, so I don't have them always sitting in my binders. When it comes to organizing pens and pencils, I recommend getting a pen case because it can be pretty uncomfortable having them in your backpack because they always somehow end up at the bottom of the backpack when you need them the most, and they can just get lost like that. And then in a pouch, it's kind of hard to access, the things inside. So I just recommend getting a pen case. It doesn't have to be anything special, but just something that you can organize your pens with. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful. It's basically just an overview about how I organize for school. It's pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. And I think it's just a pretty efficient method, and it prevents you from having too heavy of a backpack because we all know that backpacks can be extremely heavy and annoying to carry around at school. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a big thumbs up so that I know and make more videos like this. And yeah, have a happy Thanksgiving, by the way.